For those of you that don't know, the Hero's Journey is an EverQuest 1 emulation server that is free to play that is currently being sued by Daybreak Games, the parent company that owns the intellectual property for EverQuest. I saw in my last video that 66% of the people watching the videos were actually public, non-subscribers, and they may have clicked in not knowing what was going on, so that is the rundown. So I decided to make a follow-up video to respond to some of the comments. One of the main comments I'm getting is that in the last video I made, I used words like mandatory and required, referring to echoes of memory. I've described them in the comments as essential, integrated, necessary, and I got probably got at least 20 comments from people saying, you know, I farmed all this up myself. I got max level characters, never once bought echoes of memory, yada, yada, yada. They're not necessary, blah, blah, blah. And going back and looking at it, because I didn't have a script for the first video and I don't have one for this one, I could have probably said that they are essentially integrated or something like that, but somebody still would have a problem with it. A lot of people couldn't get past just saying that they're mandatory or required for the game. They couldn't look past that small clip in the video and see what the main point I was making. So to me, that was kind of like arguing about what type of dish soap to use in the dishwasher. And it doesn't matter because the end result is it's still dirty. No matter your thoughts on the echoes of memory, mandatory, essential, required, integrated, whatever word you want to use, it's still the same end result for THJ. And I want you to consider one statement. I'm not going to give it any attributed words. I'm not going to attribute it to anything. I'm not going to say mandatory, essential, whatever. I'm just going to leave you with one statement, and I want you to really think about it. And after I say this statement, go ahead and just pause the video if you need to, and leave a comment below about what you think about this one simple statement. So here's the statement. I can take a level 1 character on the hero's journey, port to the bazaar, and in the bazaar, I can literally buy the best gear in game, the best augments in game, without leaving the bazaar. And let me add to it, without having any of their alts. This is my first account, first character. Nobody's helping me. I haven't farmed anything. Brand new person makes an account, level 1 character, and without leaving the bazaar, very quickly, you can have the best gear and best in slot augmentations in the game. What do you call that? Go ahead, pause it, leave in the comments. Okay, are you back? If that is not the exact textbook definition of pay to win, please leave a comment below and explain to me what pay to win is, because leveling is so quick. It is so quick that they recommend that you put your AA to 90% where you're leveling up because you just blow through it, okay? AA is quick. You can get easily 100 AA an hour, and you can get easily 100 AA an hour, especially in groups, or if you buy donate for EOM. Anybody coming off the street can throw $100 of donations, get 100 echoes of memory. They can sell those echoes of memory, and they can get the best gear in the game, both augments and gear, and they can pay someone to level them without having to do a single thing. And I have 20 comments on here about how EOMs aren't essential, they're not mandatory, they're not integral, they're not required. You farmed all this, you did all this yourself, you bought plat, didn't need EOMs, whatever you did. Why does that system exist at all? And does that not anger you? Is that really not play to win in your eyes? How do you feel about spending the time to farm, level your own characters, get the best in slot gear, and then somebody can make a level 1 character, donate money, and have all that gear that you just spent whatever time farming, like that day, however quickly Echoes of Memory gets you after donating? I've never donated, so I don't know. Because what it seems like is the people that are commenting saying that Echoes of Memory are optional are people like me. And I put people like me on the higher end of casual players. We are the exception, not the rule. I have 6 characters, and I haven't played for a month, mind you. A little over a month. I have 6 characters, best in slot. Some of them best in slot with augments. And I'm farming Planet Time like you guys. And I should clarify, the reason that I went through so much EOM is because when I was doing this, and I don't think it's the case anymore, say something costs 10 EOM. It was cheaper to buy the 10 EOM with plat than it was to actually say, go buy a detuner in plat, because I know they're available in both. So it was more of making smart marketplace moves is what it was. Conserving money, doing things as cheaply as possible, is still getting the best results. That's why I burned through so much EOM. And the way that I leveled my other 4 characters that are max level and gear is I have a character set up that without much attention can get about 100 AA an hour. Now, the AA is not important because it's maxed 10 times over. Can't even spend it anymore, except they added stuff you can spend 100 AA on. But it's important because at that rate, it can also level legendary items in what it was about 56 minutes, I think is what I timed it, from green to legendary. So I would save money buying the green items, basic items, and level them legendary every 56 minutes. This required me to detune all that gear. So when I make a new character, a new combo, I buy all the gear that's best gear in slot. And it's like 15, 16, I don't know, 17 items usually. And then I dump it to the character I use to level the items. And then I detune it all and place it on the character before I even bring this character out of the world. It has best in slot gear. That's how I'm doing it. That's why I'm burning through EOM. You can say they're not necessary, integral, whatever you want to say about the game, but it made my life easier. And a lot of people, after talking through the comments, you know, we kind of came to an agreement that they are mainly a quality of life benefit to use them. But as far as someone going and saying that THJ and EOMs is not a pay to win system, it's not any different than Chronos. If you just look at the one statement I gave you, I can't think of another definition for pay to win. I can't. It's the same thing that happened to Chronos. People are complaining about the Chrono farmers. You buy Chronos, you sell them for in-game currency, or you use the Chronos to trade for gear. So it's no different. It's the exact same thing that's going on the live servers with Chrono that everybody hates. And this became a really big problem on Mischief and on Teak. And so why is it a problem mainly on those two servers? It's a problem on all servers, but mainly those two servers. Why is that a huge problem? Because it's free trade loot. What is the hero's journey? Free trade loot. You tell me. I mean, I don't want to sit here and talk about, you know, which dish soap we use and why are the dishes clean, because the end result is the dishes weren't clean. Okay, so we can call Echoes of Memory whatever you want. I don't care. I could have phrased it better in the original video. But really, honestly, what are your thoughts? All of these guys that are commenting and saying they farmed everything, they earned all their stuff, did any deals, and what are your thoughts on somebody being level 1, starting the game today, and within whatever time it takes Echoes of Memory, they sell them, buy the best in slot gear, best in slot Augs. Do you not care? Because if you don't care, why even comment on the post saying they're not, you know, integral to the part? It seems like you care a little bit. I also want to say I did not delete, block, hide any comments. If you make it past the YouTube filter for comments, more than happy to hear what you have to say. I've seen some other comments saying like, this is all your opinion. No shit, it's all my opinion. What do you think? This is YouTube. Voy a la playa, había subido la marea. You think that I'm like part of like this case, that I have all these documents and I'm going to make a decision? No shit, it's my opinion. Welcome to YouTube. That's all I got to say about that. Everything in here is opinion. I don't need to go read court documents. This is what the video was based on. Okay. So these are my thoughts, feelings with my personal experiences. The only thing we need to know is some of the facts. I don't have all the facts. So yes, this is my opinion too. Every single video that I've made is most likely my opinion. If it provides any facts, I've usually demonstrated how I acquired those facts, like how I collected server populations. So don't waste your time saying all opinion. Don't waste your time saying misinformation, blah, 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 blah. This is not an official channel for the legal case by any means. Thought that was obvious, but I just want to say that again. Once again, thanks for watching my video. And if you're interested in seeing what was said in my first video or watching any of my other content, click one of these two videos.